Are you Team Cap or Team Iron Man? This movie didn't just break up the Avengers, it broke up friendships, group chats, and whole sections of nerd Twitter. Welcome, I'm Avatar your ultimate go-to for fiction, fandom, and nerd culture, where they collide with politics, society, and everything in between. Before we dive in, follow the podcast on Spotify or your favorite platform so you never miss an episode. You watch on YouTube? Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Sharing, reviewing, and spreading the word helps the podcast grow. For more nerdy content, follow me on TikTok and Instagram at avatarslang. Today, we're diving into one of the MCU's most emotional and politically charged films, Captain America: Civil War. Oh yeah, before I forget, because we're covering a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, I'll be referencing other MCU shows, movies, and comics. So consider this your official spoiler alert.
This is the spoiler alert. You've been warned.
So, the film opens with a flashback to 1991 revealing that the brainwashed Bucky Barnes as the Winter Soldier is on a kill mission. In the present, after an incident in Lagos, Nigeria causes collateral damage, the UN proposes the Sokovia Accords to regulate the Avengers. This divides the team, with Tony Stark supporting the Accords and Steve Rogers opposing them as he trusts his own judgment over daft politicians. A villain named Zemo uses this division to his advantage, framing Bucky for a bombing that kills the King of Wakanda, who is also the father of T'Challa, the new Black Panther, who vows to get revenge against Bucky. Steve finds Bucky and tries to protect him from the authorities, but they are all captured. Zemo impersonates a psychiatrist and uses trigger words to activate Bucky's brainwashing to get him to cause trouble and escape. But Steve catches him and they escape custody together. Steve and his allies, including Falcon, Scarlet Witch, Hawkeye, and Ant-Man, go rogue to stop Zemo. In response, Tony assembles his own team of heroes, including Black Widow, Black Panther, War Machine, Vision, and Spider-Man. Two teams clash in the airport. Steve and Bucky escape, but War Machine is accidentally shot down by Vision and is left partially paralyzed. Tony learns that Bucky was framed and goes to the Hydra facility to confront Zemo. Zemo reveals the footage of Bucky's kill mission from earlier, revealing to the audience and to Tony and Cap that Bucky's actually the one that killed Tony's parents. This causes a final brutal fight between Steve and Bucky versus Tony. Steve defeats Tony, but leaves his shield behind and departs with Bucky. Zemo is satisfied that he's fractured the Avengers, but he is later apprehended by T'Challa. In the mid-credits scene, Barnes is granted asylum in Wakanda and chooses to return to cryogenic sleep until a cure for his brainwashing is found. In a post-credit scene, Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, explores the features of the web shooter built for him by Tony Stark. Alright, so once again, this Movie Mondays, I'm joined by Justice, X, and Rue. We're going to do Captain America: Civil War. I think that's a natural progression since we just did Black Panther last week. So I'm going to just get right into it. Justice, whose team were you on? Team Cap or Team Iron Man?
Team Cap.
Yeah, I think I knew that from our previous conversations. Why are you on Team Cap?
Team Cap because of just what he stood for. I think the Accords, you can never really trust the government.
Okay.
So just the fact that he was just against like giving control, basically like his life and use of his abilities to some type of organization. So that's why I chose him. However, I do understand Iron Man's point of view. And I didn't agree with everything Cap did, but we'll probably get to that.
X, how about you?
I'm on Team Cap as well. I definitely didn't like how Iron Man was moving this movie. He seemed he was being really pushy, and like Robert had stated, the Accords wanted the superheroes to give up their freedoms or their not give up their powers, but like give up their freedom in a sense. Mm-hmm. So I definitely would not do that myself. So I'm definitely riding with Cap. And then also, this is sort of getting too ahead of myself, but I would want someone, if I'm Bucky, which I can be Bucky sometimes, I need a friend that's really going to defend me no matter if I'm right or wrong. So
okay,
I'm Team Cap.
That's actually a real statement. I ain't gonna lie to you. I actually like the way you put that.
Yeah, I mean, like that's your boy. And if that's your boy, you gonna ride for your boy. So I mean, I'd like to say that I'd do the same, and I would like for someone to like, do that for me if I ever needed it.
Okay.
So yeah, like Iron Man, he was just like really bitching. Like I feel like I get it, like how, everything happened and stuff like that. But I feel like that one woman showing him her son, which I do have to say this, like, lives being lost is not a good thing at all.
Hmm.
But I feel like he kind of let one life dictate what they were going to do in the future. And
Yes.
then, like Rob said, like you're giving up your freedoms and stuff like that. So I wasn't rocking with it.
Okay, that's a good answer. What
Yeah.
about you, Rue?
It's really difficult because
Hmm.
I'm an avid Captain America hater. So it's really, really difficult to be on his side
Hmm.
because I'm largely on Iron Man's side. I'm like, hell yeah, vengeance. Yes, I don't care.
Vengeance for what? Oh, like how you acted toward the end?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
It's like, hell yeah, vengeance. But I am on Captain America's side because we're not giving power and control to the government. I'm just not happy that I'm on his side. That's all.
So, if y'all could guess whose side y'all think I'm on.
You're on Captain America's side.
Oh,
You're
that's
on
too easy.
Iron Man's side.
Are you being funny, X, or you're because you're laughing?
Well, actually, if you're a radicalist, then I guess you are on Captain America's side.
Am I right? Yeah, all right, never mind. I'm not even gonna ask. Oh,
But that's just the inside joke. That's
okay.
it.
Okay. What do you think, Joy?
Whose side do I think you're on? I think you're on Captain America's side.
I guess y'all know me. Well, I don't even know why I did that exercise.
But at
Yeah,
the
I'm on
same
Cap's
time,
side.
okay.
But I was going to say that technically, when I'm a left wing guy in real life, technically Iron Man's approach is people would say that's a left wing argument because that's government control. But I'm not to that kind of government control in that scenario because I don't live in the MCU. Like I do get it. Like they need to be checked, or the idea of being checked makes sense. But Thunderbolt Ross, he's not the worst person, but he ain't the best person either. Thunderbolt Ross being the general,
Yeah,
like
I'm just saying if you
Who's the
filter it through
general?
modern America, giving away your rights to the government we live in is the stupidest decision anybody can make.
Yeah.
yeah. And now we talk about MCU government where
Where
like
they're not good either. They more
they
shady.
might
I
be
mean, they
worse.
just as
No,
shady, or they
I mean
might
think
be
about it.
worse.
They got taken over by So this is Captain America 3 and Captain America 2. They got taken over by Hydra.
Exactly. So y'all already don't got no
Credibility.
The
credibility.
MCU government where everyone is nuts.
Yeah, apparently. And while we're on the topic of corrupt government and government not caring, in Captain America 4, they locked up the black guy. Or they talk about that. They locked him up twice, actually. Now think about it.
Wait, who are we talking about?
He pops up on the Winter Soldier. So Bucky and what's it
Are
called?
you talking about the old dude? The
Yes.
old dude who's supposed like the old superhuman?
Yes.
All right, I know who you're talking about now.
He got locked up. And then another instance of the government not being that great to supposed heroes was the blonde chick Sharon, the one who helped out Captain America get whatever files he needed. And the one
Wait, wasn't that Agent Carter's like granddaughter or something?
great niece.
Bro, so he was like hitting both. I was like, yo.
Well, he never even kissed Agent Carter, did he? No, he did once. They just know they liked each other. They never really dated or nothing.
Well, I guess he also. What happened to Captain America? Like he got frozen or something.
Yeah,
Whatever
they're supposed to
happened.
go on their first date, and then the plane crashed.
Yeah. All right. So my fault. He didn't hit.
This guy's crazy.
But
But speaking of Sharon, she in what's that show called with it's Falcon and Winter Soldier? The government kind of forgot about her. They forgot about her so much she ended up becoming a bad guy. Stupid
yeah, she
plot, by the
was.
way. But
Now that you're saying that, I remember that. Where did that? They went to an Asian country, and she was like over there.
yeah, she was like an arms deal, like a black arms dealer, whatever they call it. She was under the table, underground. I don't got the words for it right now, but she was shady. She became shady because the government kind of ditched her after helping Captain America. But yeah, so my point is, government in this case can't be trusted that much. And we saw in just this movie, they're like, "Oh, can we go and help with these super soldiers who could dismantle countries in one night?" And Ross was like, "Nah, we don't trust Captain America." And it's just like not even investigation. Like they said, the United States could get dismantled in a night, and he was like, "I'm good."
How realistic do you think that is?
Not realistic at all.
As far as dismantling the U.S., no, but I've seen interviews with like the SEAL Team 6 type guys that say that there are operators out there that if they sent a group of them into like a smaller country, because they were saying about how the government be choosing not to get involved in certain situations. And they were just like, if they really, or how they just drag stuff out or they use ulterior motives. Because they was just like, dude, like the dudes I work with, if they send us into one of them small, like Middle Eastern countries, we could really dismantle that joint and like give us like 6 days or something like that. And he was like, not even like a bunch of us, like send like 10 of us in there.
Yep, I believe in quick dismantling, but like the way the super soldiers they was talking about,
it makes it a little more fantasy. But I'm just saying, like,
but
look at it from a military perspective.
Yeah, that I mean, because anyone can instigate something because they don't just shoot it up. They like be like, "Yo, this tribe did this. Yo, this faction did this." But to bring it back to the movie though,
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
I don't know who's listening. I do have to say I trashed Michael B. Jordan a lot in the last episode, but Michael B. Jordan is a great actor in The Wire. I've also seen him in Creed as well. And I watched Sinners last night for the first time, which was a great movie. I say all that to say I don't hate Michael B. Jordan. I just hate Killmonger.
But no, look, I agree. That's why I was saying that I think Michael B. Jordan is a great actor. I think his acting in that just didn't stick for me.
Hell no.
I always think you're a really great actor if you can play a villain and we hate you.
Yeah.
That's a good analysis.
Or unless you're the Heath Ledger Joker and then everyone loves you.
Is he loved? Or is the portrayal loved?
The portrayal
That's
what kind of ass.
He was loved.
Yep. I mean, him dying is really what kind of put him in that light. As far as being loved, yeah. Other than that, like, yeah, he was the best Joker ever, like but we still hated the Joker in that movie. But once you die,
I didn't hate the Joker in that movie.
Well, extra nuts, like you said, you're sometimes lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I guess I did forget about that.
But once you die, for some reason, it elevates your fame and fandom to that next level.
I do think that's a thing. I just don't fully think it applies to Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger? Did I say that right?
Well,
I'm double guessing that.
You guys would know more because obviously y'all are older. I more so started watching like The Dark Knight or got into it like over these past couple years. And after seeing like, Thanos is a great Marvel villain. Thanos, Ultron, they're both great. But then Heath Ledger Joker, I just would like.
How about this? Because this is not a villain-centered movie, let's bring it back to the villain talk once we get to this movie's villain.
Yeah. I do want to say one thing though.
Yeah, go for it.
Like we were talking about earlier, I get it how movies have to be like, so long or like, however long they're supposed to be. But like, man, like if we got like a longer Infinity War, a longer Age of Ultron, a longer Dark Knight, I don't know like how you would make it. Well, yeah, you know what? Fuck that conversation right now. Let's get back to the I'm about to start rambling.
So we're all Team Cap, we said. So that makes that kind of different than I was expecting. So I'm gonna segue a little bit. Do y'all think, is there a way where the Sokovia Accords could have made sense? No, just like it's just not a good idea. Period.
Nope.
Okay.
Are we just talking about in the sense that like giving up your freedom? No.
So
it's no way to be under the government and it works for you.
So I got another question. No, my bad. I think he's about to cook. Say that again. You can't be on the government. What?
Cousin, their whole point was having control. So the only way it could work is if they didn't have control, and they're like, "Oh, we just want you to do this and that, agree to this and that."
Mm-hmm.
They want control to be like, "You can't do this." They're the only way they were trying to rein them in. So there's no way that works under the government.
So
Absolutely
okay.
not.
So what if the government is Nick Fury? Because Nick Fury's cleaner than Ross. At least MCU Fury is cleaner than Ross.
If it was Fury, possibly, but still, he messed up in the last movie. So no. If the last movie never happened, absolutely 100% of the time, but no.
Question: did he mess up in the last movie, or did he come to a system that was already messed up? Because Hydra infiltrated decades ago.
Yeah, but just because of that possibility, I can't be under you ever.
Okay.
He should have known that. You're the super spy of the world. Now you want to control, my powers when you ain't even know that you was like fully infiltrated to that extent that they were gonna like destroy millions of people.
So okay, I got another question for y'all. Do y'all anyone have input for that before I get to the next question?
No.
Okay. So what if okay, let's get to how we got to Captain America 3. It's mostly a sequel to Age of Ultron, Avengers 2. So Tony's guilty because he built Ultron, right?
Yes.
Who they did defeat, but Ultron wrecked that city. Whose fault is it that Ultron, a robot, wrecked the city?
It's tricky. It's not Tony's fault that Ultron wrecked the city, but it's still that responsibility still falls on his shoulders.
Well, no, something
rightfully,
funny?
Yeah.
I say it's Tony's fault 1,000%.
Well,
you build a robot without your team knowing. Your team's at a party and you in the basement building a robot, a death robot.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, guys, I made a mistake." And this robot attacks y'all at y'all party.
Yeah,
well,
that
Mark
you weren't
Ruffalo
supposed to be creating. Like you were breaking rules to create it. So I do feel like I also feel that the blame falls on Tony Stark.
X, you said
Yeah, that's what I'm
Mark
saying.
Ruffalo.
Tony definitely does have some of the blame because he was creating Ultron, but what's coming back to me is Mark Ruffalo was helping Tony
That's
with
true.
it.
But where's Mark Ruffalo at in this movie? He in space. So he can't even be accountable. So in a real world sense, if
Snap, I don't want to, I was about to say, well, I'm thinking we're doing a podcast. Once we started talking about Age of Ultron, I thought we were talking about Age of Ultron. I forgot.
That's hilarious.
Talking about Civil War.
No, you were on point to bring it up, but because I'm just bringing it back those events. So basically, Hulk helped build the robot, but like to Ross's point, General Ross, it's like, where's Hulk at? Y'all don't even know. And they're like, yeah, I don't know. So it's like, that's why when I rewatch this movie, I'm like, they had a point, actually. Like, you just got these newts just flying around everywhere, like just being unguarded. Because I'll be honest. If I'm Slang living in the MCU, I'm like, hell yeah, the government need to know where they at. Like, we can't stop them, but you need some checks and balances. Now, me being a watcher, and I know Captain America, I see Captain America's perspective. I'm like, I get Captain America's point because I know the real Ross. But as a citizen who doesn't see I don't have a camera following them. I'm like, they don't know where Hawk and Thor are at. They trashed Sokovia. They blew up a building in Nigeria. Somebody gotta tell them what's true, or someone need to hold them accountable.
Yeah, well, I agree with that.
Not saying that's my stance, but I'm just saying if I live in that world.
Are we talking about Civil War when the king died, when they blew up the building?
No, even funnier,
that's two explosions now. Yeah, when they're in Nigeria and
Wanda tries to stop the dude that got the bomb vest and throws him in the air, and he blows up that apartment building.
I remember that.
But that wasn't Tony's fault. So this all ain't Tony's fault.
I'm not saying it's Tony's fault. At that point, I'm more so saying if I'm a citizen.
No, I agree. I'm bringing it back to the point where we were saying, is this Tony's fault?
Oh, no, Tony's fault is Ultron. That's Tony's fault.
Yeah, so I'm saying, so it's all of them collectively. Tony, the Age of Ultron, if you're just going just blanket statement, that movie was Tony's fault, where lives died. But Tony wasn't in Nigeria, so
That's
that
true.
wasn't his
But
fault.
at least, so where the difference for me is that in Avengers 2, the villain was something they created.
Exactly. But if I'm a person, I don't care about that. I just care that my people are dying and y'all are out here creating collateral damage. So
Yeah, no, I get that, but okay, so we're gonna have the if we live in the movies argument. So if I live in the if because I think from seeing the Disney Plus shows, a
mhm.
lot of this is public knowledge. So the public does know that Stark Industries was behind Ultron.
Yeah.
So if I am who I am now, I'm probably like Hank Pym or I'm probably like Vulture. I probably wouldn't like Tony Stark. The same way in real life, I don't like Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk. I probably wouldn't like Tony Stark that much. I wouldn't hate him as much, but I'm probably like he need to
Yeah.
do a little better.
I feel
He's
like people didn't like Tony Stark that much from the jump.
No, they probably didn't.
Well, isn't that who Tony Stark is in the comics? Or is that not
He's
him?
more liked in the comics.
He's more liked in the comics.
From what I'm reading now, he's more liked.
Well, he comes off as a asshole.
He's still the same person. He's still an a-hole, but he's just
But
more like.
it's just different
That's what he's saying.
storylines. And yeah,
That's also the other thing we have to take into account. Like, you know, I am not a comic reader like Slang. So
I'm new to the comics again. I took like a 10-year break.
yeah. I say that to say, though, you know more about these different storylines. Like, I'm sort of like how Robert said last episode, he's someone who's watching the movie
Mhm.
to see if he enjoys it, like to see where the action is and stuff.
Mhm.
Sort of the same, but where I'm going with it is this is my first like introduction to Marvel. I'm rewatching the movies now,
Mhm.
but like movies being different from the comics and stuff, I always thought Tony Stark was an asshole, but I didn't know he was like, you know, well received in the comics or
It
more.
depends because he's been around for 60 years, so it always changes. But in the current run right now, he's not as destructive. There's more destructive heroes than him.
Where is Civil War in the comics? Like, where does this come from?
In the comics, it's more like
A superhero registration act.
yeah,
Yep,
but it's
that's
more
exactly.
correct. It's more Tony's more right in the comics because there's so much more heroes in the comics.
Yeah.
And in the comics, basically, it's not a Accords. It's basically like the government wants a list and identities of every superhero.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, where the conflict comes in the comics is just like it's split because some heroes is like that's the only thing that keeps my family safe is y'all not knowing who I am. But now you're saying that I'm going to be outlawed if, like
Mhm.
Spider-Man, for instance, they don't know he's Peter Parker, but they're like, now I have to tell you I'm Peter Parker and everybody will know. So now all the villains can just go attack my Aunt May whenever they want.
Yep.
And it's just like, so he's like, I'm not signing up for that. Now
Yeah.
heroes that were already known, like Iron Man, people already know who he is. They know where his mansion is. He don't care. He's just like, well, what's
But
the big deal? They already know who I am.
but that's why it's nice to have choice, and the government was taking the choice away.
Yeah. And it was like forced. It was like you either do this or else.
Mhm.
The same way in this movie, the whole you either gonna do this or else type of stance.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's move on to favorite character and performance. That could be two different people. That could be the same person. So your favorite character and favorite performance could be like for me, my favorite character is Captain America, but my favorite performance in the movie is Zemo, the one who broke up the Avengers, basically,
Yeah.
or maybe Chadwick. But yeah, so I'm gonna start with you, Rue. Who's your favorite character and performance?
My favorite character is going to be T'Challa. He was my favorite character. He stole everything he was in. Like, you know, he just had aura. But my favorite performance actually goes to Captain America because I'm an avid Captain America hater because he's always following the rules. Watching him break the rules and be badass, for me, it was just like, this is what I'm talking about. This is what, to me, a Captain America is. Like, you're fighting for freedom. And he really shined in it, and he did an amazing job.
Okay. What about you, X?
So, touching up on what I said earlier, like I really like what Captain America was standing for.
Mhm.
So, Captain America, and I mean like it's his movie, so I do uh I like him. But I also like Bucky as well. I like sort of like how like John Wick, the Equalizer, like he's one of those kinds of guys, and like it's his story is cool, like
Mhm.
the whole Russian thing, and it sucks that like they manipulated him into killing
Mhm.
Stark's parents.
Mhm.
But yeah, Bucky's a cool character too, so I'd say
Okay.
those two. And I will say, I just learned today that Elizabeth Olsen is the one who played the Scarlet Witch.
Mhm.
She is the sister of Ashley and Mary Kate, who were on Full House.
She is. I
Yeah,
didn't know that until maybe this movie came out, but I didn't realize that in Avengers 2.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
know that off the bat either.
I had the privilege of knowing.
I didn't even know who she was, to be honest.
yeah, I
I
thought
only
she
know her through the Marvel.
Hmm.
thought it was just some foreign drum because she had the accent.
They call that acting.
My character, I liked Bucky. I think was my favorite character.
No,
He's just gangster in that movie. Like,
here we go.
and he's not pulling no punches. He was just trashing people. And just to see, even as that half good, half still kind of bad, him just like playing that role in this movie, like
Mhm.
he was disrespecting people.
That's how I know you came up in the 90s. Because you, like, the 90s always marketed anti heroes. Shadow the Hedgehog, Vegeta.
Yeah.
Bucky is
But
my
he
second
grabbed
favorite.
when he broke out of
Okay.
the cell after Zemo like brainwashed him again.
Hmm.
He threw Sam upside down by grabbing his chin. Like Sam tried to come in there and like punch him. He just grabbed his face and just flipped him into the wall. I was just like, dang, that's
Shout
disrespectful.
out to the step up in fight choreography this movie took. Like, the step up, I always say, happens in Winter Soldier, but in this movie, it's different than Winter Soldier because in Winter Soldier, they're all like
Yeah, they're all just like
spies,
spy
special
type.
ops. But Tony has fighting style and mastered it. T'Challa had his Wakandan fighting style, mastered it. Black Widow has her thing, obviously. Like, this movie, they snap with the fights.
Yeah.
So let's go from there. That fight scene was tough as shit.
Which one?
The last one.
Let's hold that. Let's hold that because I'm about to get there.
Yeah,
Actually, let's do that now. Let's do that now. What was your favorite scene and why? Is that one of your favorite scenes, at least, X?
bro, that fight scene was crazy.
The one you talk about, the one when it was just Tony, Cap, and Bucky.
Yeah, when they were just
Yeah.
eating the shit out of him. That shit, bro, like they was really just piecing him.
So I used when I watched the clips, I was like, yo, they was really trashing Tony. When you see the one joint when Bucky and Cap was talking shield back and forth to each other.
Yeah.
I saw that in theaters and I was blown away. But when after rewatching it for the millionth time, Tony was really putting hands on them too.
Oh no, he was doing his thing.
Like,
And
Yeah.
he wasn't playing either. That's why it just like they really sold that scene. Because when he first started, and he was like, because he was trashing him in the beginning. Like they
yeah,
was trying when they just started, he knocked Cap over. He slammed Bucky into the wall, like thrusted him into the wall,
yeah,
and then put a rocket in his face. Because he's protected from that. He was just gonna blow his whole face off with
yeah,
one of the rockets. Because when he moved that out of the way, I'm like, dang, is that a laser? That joint took half the wall out. When he
yeah.
like, I was like,
And
dang.
before that, the lead up to that fight scene, like that's really what like helped it deliver. Because with Tony Stark being so pissed about Bucky killing his parents,
Mhm.
like even the fight scene inside, like that was crazy too. Like the whole like lead up.
I'll say
Okay,
MCU movies, that was probably the best twist out of in the MCU. And I don't
probably
think
the best
nobody
twist.
called that as far as in the theaters. I really thought they was going and was about to fight. I'm like, dang, all right, they about to go fight some
That
real.
twist. You mean the twist
Yeah.
of
When they
Tony
walked
being the
in,
final boss?
yep,
That was, yeah, yup.
Wait,
I
I'm
did not see that.
confused.
So they went there because those 5 super soldiers were there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dang, it's about to be the 3 of them versus these 5 super soldiers. They finally gonna team up, squash the beef. I did not know they was about to show a video because up in this point, you didn't know that he killed his parents.
Yeah.
You didn't know
we
that
knew
until
his
that
parents
second.
died, but we didn't know who. Yeah.
But they didn't show that his parents was in that car until
And they
then.
made it seem like a car accident at first.
Yeah, they didn't show the people or anything.
Yeah.
So they did that well because it was like up until that very moment, nobody knew
Mm-hmm.
that Bucky killed his parents. So it's
Yeah,
like when I
because
saw
Marvel
them
wasn't
shot
taking
in the
these kind of
head,
slings yet.
and the leaks wasn't really, you know, that big of a thing yet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like when I saw like they all shot in the head, I'm just like, dang, like they supposed to come in a movie about to end like this, or and I'm thinking Black Panther gonna try to jump him one last time, like it's about to be some big crazy fight, or it's gonna be 4 of them versus the 5 super soldiers. But then they was all dead, and then once he played that video, I was like, oh no. So that was probably the best twist in the MCU movie to be at the very end.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why I think that movie goes down as one of the best.
that was a great Marvel movie. It was.
They ain't had a
Is that
twist
your
like
favorite
that
scene,
since.
Rob, or you just gave the
No, my
commentary?
favorite scene is when they fought at the airport. Because that was
just
the whole point of the Civil War. You get to see all those. Yeah.
What'd you say?
I said he just
Ruben, you
decided
said?
I'm gonna just go where I want to go. Go ahead.
It
Yeah.
was a good segue though.
Finish
but,
what you said.
Yeah.
no,
No,
I was
just 'cause-
about to ask you if. No, go ahead, Rob. I thought you was done. My bad.
No, I was just saying the airport scene because that was when
Okay.
you got to see all the heroes fighting each other for like once.
Yeah. No, that was a really good fight. I always get caught up in the final fight when I rewatch clips, but that airport scene was really good.
Yeah, now when I
Yeah.
rewatch clips, I watched the final fight, so I would say that was a
Mhm.
close second. But I'll just right from the movie standpoint, that's really what we went to see. Like,
Yeah.
dang, like Team Cap, Team Iron Man, and you get to see them all
Yeah.
clash.
All right, Rue, what was your favorite scene?
For me, it's the same. It's the Germany airport battle. It was funny because you see Spider-Man for like the first time cracking jokes with all these like super old head,
Mhm.
seasoned Avengers, like, and he's just up in there like, yeah, I'm up in here, I'm holding my own weight.
Mm-hmm.
You got Ant-Man like going Giant Man and everything. It was like so much going on,
Mhm.
and I think it really captured.
It was a
like
lot of firsts
Rob
in
was
that movie,
saying,
right, Joy?
What?
I was saying that in this movie, it was a lot of firsts.
Yeah, there was a lot of firsts in that movie, and then it's just like Rob was saying, it's like it really captured that soul of that atmosphere of Civil War. You had like these great, like heavy hitters on both sides, like, and everybody really cares about each other deep down. So they're not really going as hard as they probably could go, but they're still
That's
giving
true.
you
That's
a
true.
really, really good fight. And they're all friends. So it's like a really hard fight, but at the same time, it's like, yo, we gotta.
Yeah, it was like it's funny to think they're really trying to fight. Well, most of them were fighting to arrest. Now,
Yeah.
Black Panther, his motivations might have been a little different depending on the part of the movie we was on.
Yeah, his whole goal of that movie was he's like, I'm killing Bucky. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, that's
But
what
he
I'm
did
here
hold
for.
back a little bit sometimes.
And it was
'cause
kind of
He was
funny.
fine when they arrested him.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's about, he's about like justice and stuff like that. So when they arrested him, he was just like, whatever. But he did tell Captain on that van ride, he said, how long you think you can keep me away from your friend?
Yeah, and the funny thing is, Cap don't really like be trying to argue, so he's like, all
Yeah,
right.
so he's just like, all right, whatever. This dude
That was
shot
fun,
out.
too.
He only argue with his friends. Like he's not
Yeah.
trying to argue with this random prince he don't know.
Yeah.
So I watched the movie after the first episode we did, and Robert, the part that you're talking about, I did really enjoy that part. Like, cause it's like that. I like that energy.
What part? The
Like
airport scene?
when Iron Man was like, "How long do you think you can hide me from your friend?"
Oh yeah.
Or
Black
Hydra.
Panther.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that part.
Yeah.
Okay, I got some questions for y'all. So we're talking about the airport scene. Was that a good first introduction for Spider-Man in the MCU to y'all?
For Tom Holland, yeah. I think
Yeah.
they did that smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he
Okay.
was perfect for it.
And-
I like that type of intro instead of giving everybody a origin story movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like they
And
didn't get Black Panther origin story movie, like kind of sort of. They just kind of segued it through this movie, let you know, like,
Yes.
oh, he's king now. And once his movie came, he was already able to just go do his thing. Same thing with Tom Holland. It's just like he's already Spider-Man.
I
Yeah.
do think some people need origin stories, but not everyone does. And I'm not one of those people that say, "Well, everyone knows Spider-Man," because like, no, not after what I'm learning, people know he exists, but I don't know his story. Like, I
Yeah.
have friends that don't even know Superman's bulletproof.
Yeah.
So
I'm
I
saying I
do
like the
think
fact that they kind of just speed
no,
run it.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you. I'm just getting to a point that in this case it was perfect. Like he
Yeah.
definitely in the origin story, but I think it's more because you can give us info within the context of the movie.
Within the context, yeah.
So like you don't need to be like show him powerless at first every single time, because a lot of superhero movies we watched growing up, most of them weren't origin stories. They already were superheroes. It was the MCU where we started to see these origin stories. Like in X-Men 1, we ain't see the formation of the X-Men. They was
Yeah, they
around.
was already there, yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes I think you just start, and if need be, you could go back and show certain things. But sometimes the watching of someone be powerless for most of the movie ain't that fun. Now,
Yeah.
Doctor Strange, it works.
Yeah. Like I don't think I just like the fact that they mix it up. Like every movie, every superhero that's
Yeah.
introduced doesn't have to be an origin story.
Yeah.
But throughout the movie, they give you his origin just through regular
Yep.
talking points. Like, oh yeah, I used
Yep.
to do this, or yeah, this
Yeah.
happened to me.
Yeah.
So I
I
thought
agree
that
with that.
that was good with him, and I like the fact that they did the young Spider-Man, or the youngish Spider-Man, not for the first
Mhm.
time, but he's pretty much grown
He stayed young
throughout
for 3
his.
movies though.
Yeah, but I'm saying like you got to see him grow from a kid to now he's about
Yeah,
to
that's
be
what
an
I'm saying.
adult, and they're
Whereas in
saying
Tobey,
this is the first Spider-Man that really kind of did that whole.
exactly, because in the other Spider-Man movies, they were teenagers for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like Toby was a teenager in what, one movie or half a
Hmm.
movie? Yeah, half the
Yeah.
first movie. Okay, next question. Was this
Well,
the
I
right?
do want to say that his introduction in Civil War was good,
Mhm,
because then, like, when I was watching Infinity War 2, you really see how, like, Spider-Man is Iron Man's protege.
mhm,
So, like, for him to, like, call upon Spider-Man,
mhm,
like, and just, like, introducing him like that. Like you said, not everyone needs their own origin story,
mhm.
but watching the movies, like, if you watch every single movie in order, it would make sense.
Yes, I agree with that.
So,
Second question, same question, but do y'all like the way? Oh, Joe, I'm sorry, you didn't go.
It's okay.
What'd you think of Spider-Man's intro?
I thought it was like, I mean, it was part of my best scene too, but like, yeah, I thought it was great that he popped in doing jokes and geeking off like all over Captain America's shield, because it was just reminding you that in the middle of this huge superhero war that he's just a kid. And
Mhm,
I kind of felt like it also reminded me like during the actual civil wars, like they were kids. Like there were a lot of people that were kids.
mhm.
So it kind of just brought that perspective around like,
Oh, I see what you're
dang,
saying.
this is a pretty intense conflict of ideologies
Mhm.
for them to be battling like this. But yeah, I thought it was
Right.
perfect for Spider-Man to be introduced like that.
Okay. Okay. Quickly, so get through these topics. Just a yes or no. We all found the way Black Panther was introduced.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought that was cool
I thought
too.
it was perfect. Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think you could do a plain origin story for him. That wouldn't make sense.
Sorry,
I
I
mean, you
couldn't really
could
hear
after,
you
and
completely.
Me? No, I was just saying I don't think it makes sense for the audience to show Black Panther becoming the Black Panther. He became the Black Panther because his dad died. Like, I think that's good enough.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Or I guess he didn't become Black Panther, but you know what I mean. He became this version of the Black Panther and the King.
Yeah.
I also feel like
I
they gave
do.
us more of his story, like how Robertson with the live characters, like as time went on. It's like we kind of learned more about him through his culture, and then
Hmm.
you would get like backflashes here and there if it was of importance.
Okay, I agree with that. Next question. Oh, we're getting through these faster than I thought. Rob, this is your favorite section, or I don't know if it's your favorite, but you do these a lot. Which quote stood out to you the most and why?
The safest hands are still our own. I thought that was like a
It seems
go-to
like that
quote.
resonated with you. Okay.
Yeah. Because he was right. He was just like, he didn't excuse. He was like, yeah, like we do mess up. Yeah, like Wanda did do that. He said, but still, like the the um the safest hands is still like us having control of where we go and who we help.
I agree with that. You know what? I got to listen to my own rules. I was going to talk about the Wanda thing, but I'm gonna put that in the nitpick section.
Uh,
So do y'all, Peru, you got any favorite quotes?
I like Iron Man's perspective. If we can't accept the limitation, we're no better than the bad guys.
That was a good one.
So when he said, in my culture, death is not the end. It's more of a stepping off point.
And then he follow up. Robert, how did he follow that one up?
that was when he was they was on the bus, I think. And that's when he told him like, now we're the mantle of king, da da da. Because I think that's when he gave like the little back.
Hold up,
that was a different quote.
hold up, because I'm about to bring up that quote.
You about to pull it up?
I think, well, that's the quote that I'm going to say. Is it at the end?
No, I know what you're thinking of. In this one, he said what Joyce said, but also he was like something about, he said something about his dad being nice, and he's like, but I'm not my father.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Who was he talking to when he said
that?
that?
He's talking to Natasha. This is before the bus. This is right when she's like, I'm sorry about your father.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were sitting outside. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, you're good.
I thought it was the quote that I was going to bring up.
No, the one at the end is cold too. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Do you want me to say it real quick?
I want to say it. Well,
go for it.
Hold up. Because now I need to look it up so I make sure I don't get it wrong.
All right. Let me start. Let me
Why are you
talk
looking
while you're
up? I have one last quote.
Oh, go for it.
Tony, when he was like, I don't care, he killed my mom because right.
Yeah. Yup.
Because yup.
So at that point we're like, oh, all right, it's not meant to be logical. So yeah, I get that.
Yeah, at that point
it illustrated a lot for me.
Yeah.
Hey, that's logical enough.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm not letting it go. Like Tony wasn't wrong, but at that part.
Yep. So my thing is, I think with the MCU context, it's not that I was wrong, but it wasn't right either.
You killed my mom. If I kill you, I'm not wrong for it. That's not. Yeah.
But Bucky,
the only one way to see that.
That don't matter.
It fully matters.
It matters, but my mom's still dead. I'm just supposed to let it go and just say, "Oh, okay." Like,
yeah,
nah.
but I mean, so that means that black lady should have killed Tony.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, this guy's nuts.
But my son, I mean, not Tony. I mean, I would have just went. She
Well,
should
he
have
built that robot in his basement while they was at a party.
Exactly. So Zemo wasn't wrong either. If you looking at it,
So you know what? Let's get there. I want to talk about
MCU
Zemo.
does a great job at making that line not solid, and that's the whole point.
I got an even hotter take. But
Hold
first,
up.
I gotta get back on topic and give you all my quotes.
Zemo killing a whole bunch of other people.
Right, we'll get there.
Robert had said this in the last episode, but the quote is, "The living are not done with you yet."
I knew he was gonna say that.
Yeah, he caught the bullet.
Yeah, he caught that joint.
Then he roll and catch it too.
No, he just caught it.
Or he like died.
He just caught that joint, and then
when
as he
caught
it,
that, I was like, "Oh."
That one was nasty.
Then he just rolled and just started choking him out real quick.
Mm-hmm.
To what Robert was saying, the gray area villains, how what they feel is right, but their execution is wrong.
I agree.
Yeah, that makes sense.
For me, Zemo is the ultimate best example of that, because I think I'm also kind of running into this issue with the Doctor Doom comic I'm reading right now. I think we give Marvel credit for having more nuanced villains, but I think sometimes the nuance kind of just evaporates. Like sometimes they just be straight up wrong. It don't even be like you be like, oh, I get what they're doing. Like for the first part of the movie in the middle, and then by the end they just be like nuts. And I'm like, well, you had me in the first half. Now you're just crazy.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
only
Like,
person I would
I
say
think
that did it the way that you would it, that the way that like your take is T'Challa. Because once he found out when he was like eavesdropping at that last scene, he found out that Bucky
Mhm.
didn't kill his dad. Well, he found out Bucky didn't kill his dad, so that's a little different. It was Zemo disguised as
Yeah.
Bucky.
yes,
Yeah,
but
but
my
I'm saying
thing for that is
he let his whole Joan go with Bucky, but then he still ain't kill Zemo either. So he's just morally better than I am.
The living are not done with you yet.
I'm taking Zemo
but
right
you
off
know
the mat.
what? I don't think it's about being better. I think you giving Zemo what he wants, and he's like, you don't get to win in that way because he's
Yeah,
like,
I'm
I'll
letting
work
you
with the
win.
Avengers. I'm good.
Yeah, you winning. Zemo winning because he's going right off of that cliff.
That's not even a win.
Yeah, to me, it's not a win because Zemo was going to shoot himself.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm stopping the bullet and then I'm throwing you off the cliff. They're gonna be like, dang,
This
double
guy is
twist.
nuts.
I'm
What?
gonna say I'm not done with you yet. And then I'm gonna do the Spider-Man No Way Home on him when he beat up Green Goblin at the end.
This guy's crazy.
Mm.
Guess what, guys? I can't find my quote, so I'll go back to it. We'll come back to that when I find it.
What scene does it come from?
It was when I don't even remember. I took so much time looking. I don't remember where it came from. Oh, this one. This is random, but I could tell it was improv. They were in the middle of talking about the Sokovia Accords, and Tony Stark goes, "Who put the coffee beans in the disposal? Am I running
I
a bed and
running a bed and
breakfast for a
breakfast?
biker gang?" I'm like, what? What's that
Yeah.
mean? A biker gang? Like what? Like, bro.
Yeah, Tony always be
Another
having
one
them
I
Joe.
like was Empire toppled by his enemies can rise again, but one which crumbles from within, that's death forever. I'm like, yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, that was one.
And then when Agent Ross was like, he said something like, "Oh, you ain't win," and Zemo was like, "I didn't." I'm
Yeah,
paraphrasing.
dang.
And so I'm like, yeah, I mean, there's almost no way to punish Zemo right now. Like, he's just like, the Avengers were broken up. So I like that quote because it's like, Loki didn't beat the Avengers. The Chitauri didn't beat the Avengers. Ultron didn't. Zemo did.
Yeah. And he said that
And
at the
they
very
didn't
end of the
fight.
movie too.
Yeah.
Well, are we what in a battle? Are we calling it the battle or the war?
No, he's saying that
He
he
lost
beat
everything,
him.
if you ask me.
He beat him by dismantling their whole team.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't dismantle. Well, he did dismantle the whole Avengers, but there is still the two factions. So,
Barely. They all on the run.
but they're all like still sort of connected, right?
No.
By
They didn't come back
Infinity
together
War,
until Thanos tried to watch everything.
no, and then they
Well,
still weren't together
Thor
then.
wasn't in the movie.
Yeah, but he's
Steve
just
and
saying
Tony
like
see each other that whole movie.
they still came back to
Yeah,
dismantle the Avengers.
Yeah, I guess
Because
what
the whole Infinity War, that's why Thanos was able to zero them. They were all separate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He
And,
dropped
to
down
be
in New
fair,
York
actually,
City.
they call them the dismantle Avengers.
And yeah, to dismantle is to beat them. I'm thinking like, killing them, like sort of how Thanos did it.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to do that.
I mean,
he meant from
the
within. Like,
original Avengers were still alive.
He did what he wanted to do. So yeah, he did beat them.
And in comics, winning isn't dying. That's anime. In comics, winning is just your objective.
Yeah.
In comic-based media, I should say. Okay, so next question.
I wonder what it was like back in the day when, like,
you could say back in the day
when the Avengers got beat, like back in the 40s or the 50s, if that ever happened, like where the bad guy won the issue.
You wanna know why that's funny? You're so young that you said the 40s and 50s. The Avengers weren't around yet.
Well, I mean, whoever
You're
was
saying like back in the Stone Age.
Yeah, I mean, like, and not even the Avengers, but for the villain to be on top at the end of the issue, and it be like can't wait until the next issue.
And you had to wait a whole month.
Yeah.
To read an issue for 6 minutes.
Yeah, when it's like nowadays, well, you have to wait a week for
still a month for comics.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about for TV and stuff like that.
Right.
Depending on how they release the show, like, You can either watch it like binging it or
I always say this is a little off topic, but I always say I wanted to be there when, on the second Star Wars, which is now Star Wars Episode 5, when Darth Vader's squad, the Empire won, and the movie just ended. We're just like, oh, Luke Skywalker lost.
yeah.
Alrighty. I wonder how they went crazy at the end of that. But then I experienced Infinity War when Thanos won. I was like, oh, all right, probably the same thing.
Yeah.
All right.
What I just said, it kind of reminds me about how in Sinners, where it's like the different generations and stuff, like that scene when they were in the barn and Sammy was singing the song,
Mm-hmm.
like
At,
I can
at the end,
imagine how someone back in the day would feel about like having to wait for like that next issue. Sort of like how we wait for like shows and like episodes,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like I can't wait for The Boys. The Boys is gonna be crazy. Invincible is gonna be crazy. Uh
No, yeah, those are gonna be fire. Invincible.
Anthony Starr had posted something recently about how they just got done filming
Mm-hmm.
and like he's saying goodbye to Homelander.
Yeah, because he's gonna die. All right, let me stop. Let me get back on topic though.
I mean, that's probably in the comic. And The Boys is a comic too. Have you read The Boys?
No, that's before my time.
You should still read. Well, I guess maybe I should read it though.
Yeah, you seem more interested than me.
Yeah.
You say you should still read it.
And it would probably be a comic that I would, well, I don't want to say a comic that I would like, but for a young adult, that
You
would
probably
be
would.
a nice comic.
All
That's
right,
why I really like
so
The Watchmen.
okay, so critical. I'm gonna call this section. I'm workshopping it. It's gonna be called critical corner. Was there any aspects of this movie you think could have been better?
this one of the movies, I really don't got no gripes.
Yeah, I was going to say it was a really good movie.
Yeah, I think I might be there too.
And this one of the few movies that I've rewatched like a bunch of times.
And Derek, I was texting you about this right after I was watching it. I know a common criticism is how like people forget that it's a Captain America movie. It kind of seems like an Avengers movie, but even then it was still fine. Like it was a
I'm
great
totally fine
movie.
with that
Yeah.
because see, this was supposed to be called critical corner, but I actually like the way they did it because there was only it's Captain America's movie and could tell they introduced some of the other characters early, but they didn't add some of these other characters till like 50 minutes in. Like Hawkeye, when he popped up, I was like, oh yeah, he's in this. Spider-Man came in really late into the movie. Ant-Man came into the movie really late. Like it didn't feel overwhelming. They did what they needed to do. They had impact without having to clog up too much time. Some people call it Avengers 2.5, but emphasis on the 2.5. It wasn't overbearing to me.
It's just a movie and a story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was smart that they made it a Captain America movie. Like it gave from his point of view, his focal point, and the whole basis of him trying to help his friend, but they still were able to bring in all the Avengers into it. So I thought it fit.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have another real nitpick. My nitpick is so small, it's not even a real nitpick. Real, you got any nitpicks?
I felt like Zemo, like he wasn't really memorable. Like he could have had a little bit more
Zemo?
development. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just in my opinion, he wasn't like developed enough. I feel like it's funny because Rob had just said like he thought it was smart for them to make it a Captain America. And yeah, I get like it's from his perspective, but it kind of felt like an Avengers 2.5 because of all the characters that were in it and how it was kind of just continuing the storyline. It made me remember like when it had first came out, I thought it was an Avengers movie, like when it had first came out. I'm trying to think anything else.
Joy, can I add
The
something to what you said?
Sokovia Accords, they never really explained it in detail, like how it worked, what the rules were that the Avengers would follow. Like, because I'm like a detail person, so it was really hard to go with Iron Man because it's like, well, I don't even know the details, like, you know, and if it's just plain no, then no. Like if it's a plain like, oh, you just have to give all your powers to us, like then it's no. But they never really explained it. It was just like It would have been better if they gave a little bit more clarity. It would have made the ideologies that the characters had, like of the split, it would have made it hit harder if you knew like why they were, what were the specific aspects that made them turn away, instead of just like, I'm just not giving away my power. Because if it was our own government, we would have deeper reasons than just, oh, I'm not giving away my power to the government.
Yeah, I feel like,
So,
I mean,
okay.
I disagree a little bit. I feel like they did it enough to the point where in the movie sense, like if that's just like where X was saying, if we had longer run times, you could dig deeper into those parts. I feel like that falls in
That's
like if it was like a series or whatever. But I feel like when they do these like vague aspects, I felt like it made sense enough because it was like they were in the office.
We lost him. So I'll
Yeah.
take over for a second until we get him. You're back. Yep.
Am I back? All right.
Yep.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
somebody called me, so it threw the thing off. But like when they were Thunderbolt Ross said, he was just like, you're going to be government run. You'll only go to a threat if and when we deem necessary. And Cap was just like, nah. He was like, what if there's a threat that I want to go help and you guys say no or whatever like that. And then he was
Right.
just like, even like, then he was just like, well, what if I don't sign? And he was like, then you retire. So I feel like they speed run these things, but I guess from a movie perspective, they do it for that sense because we don't have the runtime to fully like dive deeper.
Yeah.
But I feel like as far as like I feel like they gave enough to know like yeah, like whether or not like yeah, I wouldn't be down with that
Yeah.
either. But I get what you're saying as far as having more details into like,
Yep.
all right,
Fun. I think what
yeah,
they
to
should
know
have
whether or
done
not they
was
want your identities or
Yeah.
are
what
you
would
like,
have been even
this and
funner
that.
was had they released it as a document on Marvel.com
Yeah.
or something. Like a fake document, like the way they be doing on other shows. I got a nitpick. And I'm calling it a nitpick because the movie gets like a 99 for me. Like it's a really good movie to me. And I don't say that about every Marvel movie. Like I like there's Marvel movies that score at 70 and I really like the congrats Cap. Congratulations Cap. You're a criminal.
Oh yeah, that was dumb.
I'm
Yeah.
like, shut up.
Yeah. When he said that, I was just like, dude, that's why you don't get no lines, bro.
And the thing is, Don Cheadle's a really good actor, but like they should have
Who
told him to
said
redo
that?
that line.
Yeah.
Who said that line?
War
War
Machine.
Machine when they got arrested after the car chase,
Yeah.
well, when they was running in the tunnel.
And they
Yeah.
had to make the black guy a cop. Like, come on. Like they
Yeah.
had to make him the Joest cop of all time.
To
Yeah,
what
that was that line. That would have been the one right there.
Yeah.
to what Joy and Rob were saying earlier, well, Rob had just mentioned it and Joy had said something that made me think of it. Longer run times for superhero movies are definitely like cool. Like it depends on the movie though.
Mhm.
Like it would like Civil War, I feel like is a movie where if it were, I don't want to say if they were to drag it out, but like, make some of the parts longer,
Mhm.
like include more to the story, like it would be good. Like
Okay.
I was telling you earlier, it's just watching like a long episode of TV.
So you
Like
wanted to be like the Batman, where it was like 3 hours.
it
I
could
thought
be
that joint was
3 hours,
too long though, because Endgame was 3 hours.
Yes, it was. Endgame was
but
like 5 movies.
I
Yeah.
I watched, well, I don't want to start talking about Infinity War, but I had watched it and I honestly wish it was longer. Like I really would have.
So notes. X likes super long movies.
Well, even the Zack Snyder Justice League, that was a good one and it was worth watching because the first one was pretty bad. But and that was DC. This is MCU, like Marvel, like this could have been one of those movies. Infinity War could have been one of those longer movies. Age of Ultron could have been one of those movies.
What was Infinity War runtime?
It
I'll
was
look
like
it up.
two
Because
something.
Endgame definitely was like 3 hours and probably some change. That joint was long as hell. That's why I don't rewatch Endgame fully. I only watch
Yeah.
clips now.
Infinity War was 229. All
So two
right.
and a half.
So yeah.
I agree with
Endgame was
that
So
definitely 3.
though. I
Age of
agree with that
Ultron was
that
2 hours
some movies
and 21
could be
minutes.
longer.
okay. So
And
Yeah, I
then
feel like some where it fits, but then it's just like you get into because these people out, it's like, all right, you'll make a good movie, but then some that be longer, they'll just be dragging, or it'd be like too much dialogue, or the
Well, no,
pacing starts slowing down.
like specifically with these types of movies where you know the franchise, like we know that Avengers, we know that the Marvel movies have a huge showing up
Nah,
for their
they
franchise.
started dropping the ball after this run. Their movies started drying out.
Well, I mean, like during the Avengers movies, like they knew that we were coming back for more, and it's like
Oh
some of the
yeah, so you're saying
Yeah,
it
characters,
could have been longer at that time.
yeah, some of
yeah,
the
yeah.
characters they could have took time to develop a little bit in those movies, like show us a little bit of
Mm-hmm.
what's going on with them right then and there. So then when they did their spin-off shows and their sequels, like they would have been more successful.
Mm-hmm.
But
And they could do that with longer run times because they could put like more like of the stories into it, like more Easter eggs and stuff like that
mhm.
that make people like, I don't know, people do have shorter
So
attention
let's do this from
span.
now on. A new segment I'm gonna add every week is too long or too short.
That'd be cool.
That's
Yeah, I think that's a
cool,
good one.
Yeah.
and it's
Okay.
just
I don't
because
feel
like
like this
there's
movie was too short, but I feel like it could have stood to be a little longer.
Yeah.
Crazy thing is, I was fine like for this movie.
Yeah, I was
I'm fine
fine
with
with
this
the time
runtime.
frame.
I do get if someone's like they like it so much they think it could be longer and still be fine. I get that stance too though.
I was just
But
thinking about it
It's
when
just
X
like
was talking, like how
mhm,
there's so many books that I've read that once they're, and I'm sure you guys too, with a lot of the comics that you've read, like once they're transformed into like live action, if they give it
mhm.
too short of a runtime, you lose so many of the details. And it's like, okay, like people aren't getting why this is going on. Like I get what X is saying. Like some of them, I do think they could be a little longer. This one could have been a little longer, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, this one could have. Yeah, and it's just I feel like it's one of them ones where it's like until you see it, you might not know.
yeah.
Because just like this one is one of those few movies where it's like you're sitting like all four of us, all different perspective, all different type of movie watchers. Nobody has any real heavy criticisms. That's like rare.
Yeah,
But this is when Marvel was, they were like everything they dropped was kind of cooking a little bit.
Yeah, because
yeah,
this
they
wasn't
were.
just like a good Marvel movie. This was considered a good
It was
film.
just considered a good movie. So
Yeah.
it's like when you get that, like Black Panther 1, I don't think that should have been longer.
Nah, I don't see that. Nah, that was probably the right runtime.
Yeah, I felt like that was a runtime. But like Joy was saying, she was like, with these Avengers movies, you got a bunch of other people coming
Yeah.
in. It can stand. I feel like those movies do need to be longer.
I
You
do
got a
see the
whole,
case. I just like runtime scares me because sometimes I watch movies and I'm like, we didn't even need that 15 minutes right there.
yeah,
Cut that part out. So I'm not the best at that when the movie's good. When the movie's bad, then I start knowing where to inject things. But when the movies are good, I struggle with that. So I do get the case. I'm just not the best person to input my opinion.
yeah.
All right, a few more questions. So John Krasinski, Channing Tatum, Chance Crawford, Garrett Hunlin, I don't know who that is. Scott Porter, Wyatt Russell, the guy who plays the second Captain America, Jensen Ackles, Sebastian Stan, and sorry, I can't speak. Chris Pratt were all considered for the role of Captain America. Can you imagine any of these actors playing him, and not just playing him, but being as good as Chris Evans was? Or can you even picture it being a similar impact?
Yeah, I feel like Chris Evans did a good job, but I feel like he sold the character and got used to him. But some of those actors could have did it. Wyatt
Okay,
Russell, I feel like he could have sold it.
I think he's a really
He's
good
lying.
actor.
Krasinski's a heavy. I feel like Krasinski could have sold him. I
Okay,
feel like Jensen Ackles could have definitely sold him. And he would have Jensen Ackles would have gave him a more grisly approach. Same
I
thing
mean, he
with
played the
Wyatt, but
off-brand one on The Boys.
yeah. So the actors that I do know, some of them I don't know, but those ones I do
Okay,
know, I feel like any of them could have been Captain America. And
Chase
still,
Crawford's the fake Aquaman from The Boys.
Channing Tatum, I don't know.
I don't see that one,
Yeah, I wouldn't.
but I did realize he's a better actor than I
He's trying to
realized.
save America, and I'm like, dance. Like he might want to dance or something.
I don't want to watch Step Up. I'm not going there today.
Eh,
But yeah, I can see them being cast. I think they nailed it with Chris Evans. All right, I'm going to run through some fun facts so we can get to the wrap up. Facts and trivia: the fight scene where Captain America, Iron Man, and Bucky, like the final one, that took 2 years to conceive, and it was created to leave the relationships between the characters fractured. Succeeded, right?
yeah,
Say
succeeded.
that again?
The The final fight scene with Bucky, Cap, and Iron Man, that took 2 years to conceive, and it was created to leave the relationships between the characters fractured.
Yeah.
When Chris Evans, well, I don't know why they put it like that. I just got this from the internet. When Captain America holds the helicopter with his bare hands, first of all, when I saw that, I was like, he's not gonna pull that joint down, and he did it. I was like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
But when he did that in real life, he was pulling against a real crane. I don't know what part of the crane, but he was pulling against a crane so they get that realistic muscle bulge.
Mm.
Um,
That was a dope
the
scene.
the airport scene was widely considered to be the most entertaining sequence in the film. That also took 2 years to conceive, which is nuts. But there's a lot of moving parts, so I get it. So this movie has a psychological thriller influence. The directors, Joe and Anthony Russo, who are brothers, obviously, they were influenced by psychological thrillers such as Seven, Fargo, and The Godfather. So, do y'all see any of that? How the kid got there?
Maybe just in like Zemo's like whole
hmm I feel
backdoor
like the first
portrayal.
half, like when I saw the special ops people storming Bucky's rental,
Yeah.
that's when I got the whole. Obviously, in the Captain America 2, Winter Soldier, that's felt more like a Jack Ryan movie, but
Yeah.
this one has some influence, but there's a lot of superpowers, so people don't see it. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna try to convince them. It is a superhero movie first, but I do see the influence. The Russo brothers' background. The directors have a background directing comedies, so the whole movie thing that's new. They started in the Arrested Development Community, so that helped them with the comedic timing. And me personally, I think that works because there's way less jokes in this movie than there is in other Marvel movies, and I
Hmm.
appreciate that. I feel like the
Yeah.
jokes were more realistic, like kind of like
Yeah, I feel
when
like
we're
they had
playing
a good
Fortnite.
balance. Yeah.
We're really trying to win, but we throw some jokes in. This one I didn't know. I didn't know this for years. Had Robert Downey Jr. not agreed to do this movie for whatever reason, they would have did the Mad Bomb storyline. I'm not up on Captain America solo comics, so I'm gonna tell y'all in the audience what that is. The Mad Bomb storyline is when Jack Kirby, he's an artist, he's the one who created Thanos, but he took a writing role, and a secret organization is using a device called the Mad Bomb and turns them into raging aggressors. So in some ways, that's probably like a zombie movie, right? If you have a device
Yeah, like
turning
a
people.
like brainwash type thing.
Yeah,
Pretty much what they did to Bucky, but on a larger scale.
yeah. So I guess that would have still been in the Winter Soldier space of
Yeah.
who's
It
doing
would have been
this,
a good
and it
movie.
would
It
have been
wouldn't have
hand to
been
hand.
it wouldn't have been as great.
Yeah, we would have loved it, but we would have been mad to know that they were probably planning a Civil War movie, and
Yeah.
at that point, we knew Marvel could do anything, so we would have wanted a Civil War movie.
Yeah.
The Return of Thaddeus Ross, so General Ross. This film brought back the character of Thaddeus Ross, played by William Hurt, who actually passed away, as y'all know, because Harrison Ford plays him in the Captain America 4. But for a long time, the Incredible Hulk characters were considered like whatever. They don't matter no more. So
Yeah.
that was a big deal at the time. Casting Black Panther and Spider-Man, Chadwick Boseman did not audition for this role. Instead, Marvel just met up with him directly. In contrast, 6 actors auditioned for Spider-Man. Tom Holland was chosen because of his gymnastic background and his age. He also passed the screen test with Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. So basically, they tested out his chemistry.
Mm.
It's funny because when I first saw that they had a Spider-Man casted, they had posted the video and he was doing like backflips on his own. And I was like, oh yeah, like
Yeah.
yeah, you get him. Y'all gotta get that guy.
I remember seeing an interview of his where he was saying that his audition for Marvel, literally Robert Downey Jr. came in there, and so he was like starstruck, but he had to act normal and just start acting. And I forget there was something that he said because he was like ad libbing to him and everything, and he was like having to test
Hmm.
on. So that's probably what they were talking about when they were saying like their chemistry and everything.
Okay, I think I saw a piece of that, But I have bad attention span, so I don't be watching videos, especially not back then. Okay, Chadwick Boseman used a Wakandan accent for the entire production, even when off camera. That makes sense because he's a theater geek. Hope Van Dyne, also known as the Wasp, was initially intended to be in this film, but they instead was like, you know what, that's too much people. The audience don't got a connection to her. So they decided to just have her come out on Ant-Man 2. The drone Red Wing, the one he used in the beginning of the film, that get Spider-Man away from him. When I say he, I mean Falcon. My bad, y'all.
Yeah.
In the comics, he's an actual Falcon.
Okay.
Really?
We agree that it makes more sense that in this world he's a drone and not a Falcon, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all the fun facts I got. So the last few segments is, what would you rate this movie? Trash, mid, good, or fire?
Fire.
So that's 4 fires.
Yeah.
Maybe we should make that a rating system.
Yeah, it's one of the few movies that is fire. I mean, there's a bunch of fire movies, but I'm saying it's in that collection.
In the MCU?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's fire because a whole bunch of Captain haters came over. I'm telling you.
You know what? I got one more. Okay, so I want to talk about the Captain America thing, and I want to talk about the my nitpick with the movie. I forgot to say this earlier. I don't like that they didn't argue for themselves well enough. Like, they blamed the Avengers for wrecking New York. How's that the Avengers' fault?
Yeah, that wasn't their fault. Avengers could have just sat there and just watched. Yeah, New York had nothing to do with them.
Yeah, like New York was gonna get wrecked regardless. Yeah. If anything, they saved the damage.
Yeah, that was
and then
a reach.
Wait. The oversight committee wanted to bomb New York with a nuke.
Yeah, they sent a nuke. Yeah, so yeah,
New York don't care about damage.
Yeah,
that's exactly. That's why Captain America's like, you cannot trust this government. Actually, I don't even feel like getting into the Captain America conversation because we've been here long enough, and it's probably just going in circles. So no point in that. Let me make sure I ran through everything. Then we could probably just pick the next movie, or we could see who's going to pick. I wanted to talk about Zemo real quick. I know I talked about him already, but 2 fun facts that I picked up is not in my notes. Sebastian Stan, who plays Bucky, he's actually Romanian. So when he was speaking Romanian, he actually knew Romanian. I thought that was cool. Baron Zemo is actually German. So I think it's just easier for him to do European accents because of that. And also he voices over in some of the dubs. You know, they be having different voices. He dubs himself in some of the dubs, which is not the norm.
Because that doesn't usually happen.
Yeah.
Bingo. All right, so now I'm going to share my screen and we're going to pick the next movie. And me and Justice are going to be left off the wheel.
It's between Joy and I. Joy, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Or sorry,
let's do this. I just click spin. Oh, so the wheel's sexist. Okay.
Well, Joy, you'll for sure be picking the next one then, so you can get your pick for next time.
I have to look up Marvel movies real quick.
You're supposed to pre-think them.
It doesn't have to be a Marvel.
I think he says he wanted to stay in that direction when we talk.
Yeah, I like rewatching all the Marvel movies again. They're all pretty good.
I don't want to influence you, but I just like guessing. While he's thinking, Joy, what's your gripe with Captain America?
I told you, it's just that he follows the rules all the time, like blindly.
Is that the character, like the overall character?
The overall character, like I didn't.
Got it.
I thought that Captain America would be not to say like a vigilante, but more like a vigilante because you fight for the people, like you're fighting for freedom. But Captain America has always been this tool for the government.
The Boy Scout.
Yeah, he was the Boy Scout. Okay. So seeing him in this role, that's why it was refreshing for me because it's like, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I've always wanted you to see. This was your greatest potential. So,
my experience with Captain America is different. So Captain America from back in the day, maybe in our uncle's time.
Mhm.
He was the Boy Scout, but because the Avengers didn't get exposure, we didn't experience the recent Captain America. So for the past, so I always split it up. So they call it Golden Age. So the Captain America you're thinking about is Golden Age, probably.
Mhm.
So that's like back in the day when comics looked like newspapers still. So the Captain America they adapted this one from, actually, to your point, is
You're
the
saying because
America.
he is the. I get what you're saying. I do.
Yeah, so that's why when people say that, I'm confused, but I always realize everyone's entry point is different. Everyone's reference point is different. So in the cartoon, he was more like the one in the movie, like,
Okay.
this is America. It's not
Yeah,
I don't
I
work
know
for the government. I work for
comics.
Americans.
Yeah, exactly.
So that makes sense now. Okay. But I'm just gonna stall till X gets back.
All right. I think I figured it
That
out.
was always just my
You figured it
issue.
out?
And just like how you said, it's
That's
like
fair.
this
I'm not
one,
into Boy Scouts either.
it's like how you said this one is the one from the 50s. Like he literally timed, like he was frozen and he defrosted here. So it's like I get it, but this was the Captain America I wanted. I wanted to see badass Captain America kicking
Okay.
ass.
Wait, hold that up again. All right. So yeah, audience, it looks like we're doing Incredible Hulk, and I think that's a good place to close. All right, it's a wrap for today. Thanks for tuning in. Big shout out to the Slang Gang, Justice, Peru, and X for coming through. Next up is Incredible Hulk. Audio listeners, hit follow, leave a review, and share the podcast. It's the best way to support. It helps more people discover the show. YouTube viewers, don't forget to press like, subscribe, and share. More listeners means more episodes, so spread the word. Want to go further? Support the podcast at buymeacoffee.com/avatarslang. Every contribution helps bring you more great content. Links are in the YouTube description, podcast description, and my Instagram bio. Stay connected on Instagram and TikTok at Avatar Slang. And share your thoughts on today's topics. Thanks for being a part of Slang Gang, y'all.